Okay, I'm live. Full blown homeschool mode today. For those of you who don't know, I am a homeschooler. I began homeschooling in the fall of 2020. All of the schools switched over to virtual learning. I sat and shared office space with my third grader at the time and watched the teacher struggle to get 30 kids settled down for each lesson. And only once he got everyone settled down, it was time to switch lessons. Like it was very very painful to watch, and decided that and my son is going to get left behind if I don't step in and become the school and the principal and the homeroom teacher, right? So I homeschool, and at the same time of doing everything else in my practice. And I just thought that I would come on today and share what we discussed at our homeroom session today about management. And management has been very, very hard, heavy on my heart because of what I'm seeing in the scriptures about Adam's mandate and the governorship that was placed upon him. When you look at the word used in Adam shall rule over you, or the man shall rule over you, that word rule, when you search it out in the Hebrew, it is pointing to governor, govern, manage. It is the picture of this same being who was created in the garden for the purpose of taking dominion over it and stewarding it, managing it, ensuring that it was growing, that it was being cared for, that it was productive. There was a mandate of productivity placed on Adam when Adam was first created. And so this management or governorship, the more I looked at the Hebrew meaning of that conversation in the garden, the more I began to see the connection between the lack of management and marriages that end in divorce. And for those of you who don't know, over my 14-year legal career, I've seen thousands of divorcing relationships. So, management, mismanagement. When you think about management, we typically think about the workplace. We typically think about the marketplace or business or money or enterprise. But when you think about your family as the business, your family as the enterprise, and your responsibility to manage, it takes on a whole new meaning. And so I ended up having this conversation with my son today and freaked him out because I said, in ancient times, at your age, you would be considered an adult. You would be responsible for going and managing and producing and taking care of yourself. And he's like, no. And in our modern times, the children are kept infantile longer than they did in ancient times. And even when you look at children outside of the United States, they tend to have more responsibility and more maturity than the children here in the United States. And part of that has been bothering me to the point where it's like, let's learn management at homeschool. Let's learn what it is to be a manager. You don't have to wait to be an adult to begin managing. So we talked about management, and we talked about his responsibility as a manager, and that the very, very first thing that he will be learning is to take inventory of everything he possesses, because 12-year-olds have possessions. Hey, Maya! Kisses to you, honey. And so, I'm out here having to learn. I'm not on here like that, but I'm working on it. Baby steps of social media, right? I miss you, sweetie. So our children can learn how to manage at a younger age, and teaching them how to manage now prepares them for managing their relationships later. What I've witnessed in the world of divorce, a lot of times, are expectations that, okay, my relationship is like a crock pot recipe. I just put all the ingredients in there and set it and forget it. This is mismanagement. In fact, Myron Golden, he is a prolific business coach who teaches from a biblical perspective. He teaches about the law of entropy a lot. And the law of entropy is a law of physics that says that a system left to its own devices over time will devolve into chaos unless met with an opposing and stronger force. And so when you think about relationships, when you think about possessions, when you think about currency, if we are not practicing the intentionality of management in any area of our life, our health, our wealth, our relationships, those things will become chaotic as a result of the law of entropy. So today we were teaching that physics lesson along with introduction to management for a 12-year-old. So that's what I'm jumping on today to share with you that conversation with my kiddo, and just encourage you, if you have young people, even if they're like 5 or 6 years old, they can start learning management now. They can start learning that, hey, if I don't take care of my room, I'm not a good manager. If I don't take care of cleaning my room, I'm not a good manager. If I don't take care of hanging up my clothes neatly, I'm not a good manager. If I don't take care of putting my toys away after I play with them, I'm not a good manager. And if I want to be wealthy and wise and have great relationships, then this is where it starts. It starts with how I manage my stuff. And it wasn't until our homeschool lesson that I thought that, wow, when I think about what my kiddo has, he has a lot of stuff. A lot to manage. And practicing managing his little world will prepare him for managing other things, along with managing money, right? We're going to get into those conversations more deeply, the financial management. But in my world, and in my main focus is relationship management. Because we sit and we expect relationship to just happen, or we expect things to just fall into line without some type of effort on our part, or we get mad and we just cut people off rather than managing expectations. We just divorce people rather than managing boundaries. And it all boils down to management. And one of the things that I want to encourage husbands concerning the area of management is Proverbs 31. I have seen many, many women exhausted and throwing in the towel on their divorce because they feel that they're doing everything and that their husband is not doing his fair share of all the stuff she's doing. Proverbs 31 gives you an insight into the way we as women are wired. The Proverbs 31 woman, she is industrious. Girlfriend got it going on. She got it going on at the house, doing something. Like she's up before the sun comes up, getting it in. She's making sure that what she's feeding herself spiritually in the early morning hours, she's giving a portion of that to her girlfriends. And then she's making sure the house is taken care of. And then she's out in the marketplace making money. She's industrious. She's created to be industrious. And it can look irritating sometimes, like women, we're doing too much or we're busy. But my challenge to husbands is to see the industriousness of your wife as a management opportunity for you as the priest of your house. How are you investing in or supporting the industry of your wife for the increase of your house and your legacy? because women are tired. And I'm wondering how much we've learned about management in marriage for the purpose of safeguarding this very, very sacred relationship. It's not just enough to just stay married. Like, I'm sorry, after doing the past year and a half, going through divorces after 30 years, 32 years, and yes, even 40 years, don't tell me about how long you've been married. That's not evidence that your marriage is working. That's evidence that you are sticking it out. But I've just seen too many 30-year marriages where somebody finally cracked under the pressure and said, "Okay, I'm tired of pretending. This isn't it. And for the rest of my life, I don't want to live pretending." And my encouragement is that management and learning management and beginning with looking at your marriage as a resource to be managed, to be multiplied so that it can work towards a legacy and a higher purpose beyond today's pleasure is one of the ingredients to longevity, contentment, and joy in your marriage. So I'm just going to comment in the link somewhere in this video. I'm still a babe in social media. Thank you for your grace in understanding that I'm not that savvy and popping around in here in the live, but I am hopping in like I said I would. I'm going to put in the PDF worksheet that I created for my kiddo, which is basically a summary of this conversation about management and why you want to know management, not just for your money, but for your marriage. So y'all be blessed and encouraged out there, and I'll be on soon. Take care.